I wanted to book a show on the 19th for a dance show. Well, it's actually going to be a contemporary pole dance show. So we're going to have a group of dancers on the stage, and then we also have 2 freestanding poles. Hello? No, nobody throws money at us. We don't take off our clothes. Yeah, it's more on the artistic side. It's not stripping. It's actually sort of like a combination of contemporary and aerial work. You know, we have choreographed dances. We're trained dancers. It's actually more of a concert dance. Like, if you've ever been to the ballet, it's kind of like that, except a little bit more edgy. Well, there's another one we can't do. Jeez. It's unbelievable. It's really hard to explain to people over the phone what this is. They have to see it, and nobody's seen it yet, so nobody's really willing to give it a chance.
Why on a pole, given all the connotations and where a pole ultimately seems to lead?
I think that we have to make a decision about what is sexual and what is just what is gymnastics and just
Every man in our audience that day pretty much left with the you-know-what after.
It's not just stripping. The thing is like the world is evolving, pole is evolving, so it's like we either evolve with it or, you know, you get left behind.
I had a friend that once just randomly showed me a pole trick, and that was a long time ago. And ever since then, every time I saw a pole, I had an urge to do that trick. I would say I didn't even know about pole dancing until, I didn't know that people had pole dancing classes. I only thought of pole dancing in a strip club, which is what everybody thinks. I just saw how beautiful it was and how balletic it was and how much it related to the dancing that I do in its own way.
You know, 5 years ago, people never heard of pole dancing for fitness.
There were no pole dance classes, there were no pole dance studios, there was no such thing as pole dance fitness. It was strip clubs and me. I'd studied every kind of dance possible, studied anatomy, but when I first walked into a strip club researching for this movie, I was blown away at the way that some of these women were moving.
Terry Hatcher was here not too long ago, star of ABC's Desperate Housewives. Y'all watch that show? So funny. Well, she told us she takes Sheila's strip class, too.
I was literally inundated with a tsunami of rabidly interested women, and I could not get to them all. Thankfully, women one after the other started to open pole dance studios all around the world.
There are ladies like me who were in the strip clubs who were doing what they love to do and realizing, okay, nobody cares anymore, so I'm gonna go do this somewhere else.
I saw this woman hanging upside down by her ankle, and I couldn't stop staring at it. I was mesmerized by it, and I was also thinking, I think I can do that.
I took my first class, and I would say within the next 4 weeks, I was signed up at 4 different studios. Like, I was obsessed.
It's got sex appeal, high heels, hair whips, hair down, sexy clothing, sort of a entertainment crowd appeal.
It's a form of dance that has a bad reputation. Just imagine a stripper working the pole at a gentleman's club.
I've seen it from being on a stripping level and seeing what it was back then and actually not just seeing it, living it. You couldn't get more 180. It's evolving in ways where you're able to take the negative side out of it and have a pure side of it.
Because we've had so many other people join the pole industry, you're starting to see where they're pulling from. The bottom line is it's not as popular as it could or should be or will be. It's still in its infancy.
As soon as I walked out the door on my very first day, I just got this entire obsession with pole dancing and how I wanted to do it. I began to notice that a lot of pole dancers improvise, which isn't a bad thing. They kind of freestyle, so they don't have any choreography. They just kind of dance around to the music, but then they kind of ignore the music. They get up on the pole and they do a bunch of tricks, but it's not to the music, and that kind of irked me, because as a dancer, you always go to the music. So that was the first thing that bothered me, and the second thing that bothered me was the bikinis and the 6-inch stripper heels, which I just feel aren't necessary. And no one in their right mind can dance in those things anyways, for real.
She graduated from UCLA a little bit after I did, and she was a dance major, and she got turned on to the pole and was kind of like I was. She was enamored with it, and she wanted to take what she had, her knowledge of dance and what she had practiced her whole life, and mesh it with what she was learning on the pole. So she had this vision of making a full-length pole show that merged lyrical modern dance forms with pole dancing.
I got into dance because my parents put me into a dance class. I tried a lot of things. I did track, I did karate, and then they stuck me into a dance class one day, and I was really bad at it, but I didn't know. I thought I was amazing. I was never the best dancer growing up, and I'm still not the best dancer. But I do it because it makes me feel good about myself. It makes me feel beautiful from the inside out, and it's almost like an addiction. I can't stop doing it. It's a part of who I am, and as I grew up, it became such a huge part of my life. It feels like an extra arm that I can't live without. I kind of went on a rampage to find schools that had great dance programs. And my parents were always like, you're going to go to college. That's just the next step you take after high school, no matter what. I actually got rejected from every college, except for UCLA somehow. And it was my first pick, so I was very, very excited about it. And I landed in the perfect dance program. When I went to my orientation, they said, we're not looking for dancers to be in dance companies. We're looking for dancers to start dance companies. This thing began to form in my mind of having a big group of girls, sort of like our hip hop crews, where we have a whole group of people, because I think there's a big power in numbers. During school, I wasn't as involved as a lot of students were because I was involved in hip hop outside of class. And we spent probably 40 hours a week doing that, so it's kind of like a full-time job without any pay, and it's literally just for the passion of dance. I had kind of set the timeline of a year for myself to put on a full-length show and present it to the dance world that way. Come on in. This is the pole. Not a big deal. You just gotta look out for the fan and look out for the wall. We're gonna work with it. It'll be okay.
She was telling me how she was in this pole dance company, and I was like, well, what does that mean, you know? And she's like, we do pole tricks and choreography. And
how do I get down? Okay, keep this one. Okay, tuck your head. Just slide. Okay.
I went out to get drinks one night and ran into Jess, and Jess was like, you should come audition. And I was like, that'd be really cool. And then the next day she just called me and was like, I can start giving you lessons like next week.
It's gonna get easier. It's gonna get easier. So I had all the girls crammed into my room, and we would all train on one pole next to my bed in a tiny little bedroom. We did that for months.
And literally, if you extended your leg too far, you would kick the bed, or you'd kick the nightstand, or you'd hit the wall on the other side of the pole. Like, it was a mess. I mean, we probably took, I think we were all going upside down, at least had gotten upside down, maybe not able to hold ourselves upside down, but had gotten upside down on either the first or second, like, week we were in there. But as far as actually being able to hold yourself and stay there, that probably took like a month.
I told my parents, I'm like, I'm going to a pole class, and my mom was just kind of like, what?
At first, when you first mentioned that you're a pole dancer, they kind of automatically think stripper.
When I first told my mom on the phone that I was joining a pole dancing company, her words were, I don't know whether to be mortified or excited.
Sometimes still, she's like, Mika, that's a little too sexy. I don't know about that. And I'm like, Mom, it's not too sexy, believe me.
My mom especially just cannot get over she just believes it's trashy. She still sees the pole as like this phallic thing and doesn't think it's so artistic. You know, and I feel like anyone that really cared about me and loved me enough would be like, you know what, if you love this, I'll love it with you.
See this hole? That's supposed to match up with that hole.
Right now, that bolt is matching.
Screw.
It's right there.
We're screwed. Okay, well, we're just gonna have to use it.
Top me!
Really? There.
All right, Brittany, lie down.
Which one? This is Brittany's actually our ruler.
Half it?
We don't need no measuring tape. I needed to create a structure to be able to put on the show because I wanted it to be different than anything else that was out there. I needed there to be group dancing and synchronized pole, and I saw a lot of potential for it. So I had to figure out how to build this set that could hold up 12 dancers and that could somehow be incorporated into the poles that I already owned. These two pieces are called the mystery pieces, and you just kind of figure it out by the end every time. It's not very smart. It's not a very smart cross-up.
There's one that doesn't actually line up, right? I think it's this one.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Oh my God, you see it? Yeah. Oh my God. That scares me. That's why the front poles aren't spinning.
I have found a way to somehow scrape together about $80 a week just to rehearse for 2 hours, and that was really hard. So what I had to do was spend half the time in the dance studio and half the time in the pole studio. I kind of got the idea that maybe I should just put that money towards maybe renting a larger space that I could live in. And that way, it might be a little more expensive in my rent now, but it's about the same as renting out rehearsal space, and I can use it whenever I want. Welcome to the abode in the ghetto. Come on in. All right. You come in here and it looks a little bit like a rundown shack. Don't really know what to expect, a little construction site. And we fixed the place up a little bit. When I first moved in here, this was completely white. This was cement floor, and I could see the potential. I originally moved here because you can see all that pile of metal is our set. So I was trying to find a place where we'd have a wide enough space to set it up so we could rehearse. Well, it turns out the space with the open ceiling is 3 inches short of being able to fit that thing. But the good news is that we have this loft here, so we were able to put up these little boards and set up the poles. I have a bunch of stuff up here for making costumes. It kind of becomes a sweatshop before shows. I try to make a lot of things myself to save us money because we're a little poor. This is the Jagged bathroom where we use about a roll of toilet paper every practice. This is where all the magic happens in my dreams. So yeah, it's a pretty sweet spot. It's really expensive. So I pretty much spend my whole life trying to make enough money just to stay here. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna sit here for the next 15 minutes because I'm not going in there until 5:30, and then we're gonna put meter money in so we don't have to pay more. That's the technique, because once 6 o'clock hits, this is free. Maximize your money. So my day job now is I am a waitress at Volcano. I wanted to do something where I could have enough time to run Jagged and still make enough money to live.
My day job is I'm a bartender.
I work at a bar and grill.
I teach at 7 studios, so I technically have 7 jobs.
I work in luxury eyewear in Beverly Hills.
Some days I think to myself, what am I doing? But what keeps me going is the fact that it's flexible enough to where I can still do what I love, which is dancing.
And 5, 6, 7, 8, and go!
What's happening? You had it before. Didn't you?
She's in her crotch.
We didn't actually teach you how to get off. So it's interesting for me to watch how people think that they can get off. Any way they can get to the ground, they will. So I wanted to do a show in the style of how dancers usually would put something together. And with When the Curtain Falls, I wanted to focus on when an obsession about something in particular becomes unhealthy.
3 weeks, probably 4 weeks into the rehearsal process, she enlightened us on the idea of When the Curtain Falls. And she said, these are the 6 main characters. She listed love, Twitter-pated, gold digger, money, death, and RIP.
For example, money is really all about not getting too obsessed with the money and really doing what makes you happy. So even if I'm broke, I'm still doing something that makes me happy, and I'm not too obsessed with, you know, just making that dollar and throwing away the rest of my life for that. I think death can make people really rethink their lives. It's kind of a wake-up call to not waste time not saying things you should. 3, 4, kick up, 6, 7, 8, open, 2.
I haven't seen anything like what Jagged was doing as far as a group pole dancing set with a story to it. I have seen more than one pole dancer actually dance with a pole dance troupe in like 2005. So, but we didn't have a story, and we only had one pole. As of right now, we're in this competitive stage where we have lots of competitions, and I think the main reason why we do the competitions is just to be seen and to share and to be on stage. So I feel like if there was more opportunities for us to be on stage, then we would take them.
You know, I didn't have a background in dance. I didn't know dance movement. I didn't even think about things like trying to tell a story or having a theme or any of that sort of thing. And I think at the time in the pole dancing world, no one was really thinking about those types of things either.
So what you're gonna do instead, it's gonna be the same thing, but you're gonna firefly climb once, then you're gonna go into your pencil, then helicopter, then hook. So same thing, except you're climbing once to get higher because we were so low that the people are doing the handstand.
So firefly, pencil, helicopter.
Firefly, pencil, helicopter, hook, let them stop you, and then pike, and then get into Superman. All these things probably mean nothing to you. It sounds like a load of crap. But to me, now I can actually understand what they are.
Okay, this I like to call sitting lady. I just call it plank. A really popular move is the jade split. This I call a layout. A lot of studios will call this a Scorpio or a Gemini. I like to just call it an outside leg hang because it's your outside leg and it's hanging, it's hooked. So the more basic and the more kind of universal you can make the names, the better, I think.
Half the things I don't know what they're called, so then we just say, oh, it's the butt in the air, foot bent thing.
We came to the realization that you have to play with stunts and tricks before you teach the choreography that it's gonna go into. Because without knowing that we can do that and without knowing who has to be on which pole and with what partner and just any of that, it's really impossible. I, at this point, had kind of been helping her like little along the way, being like, that doesn't read, just kind of as an outside eye, because it's really hard as a choreographer to have an idea and put it on people and realize it doesn't make sense. Because in your head, it completely makes sense. My thought is if they do opposite legs like they were doing before, like one of them is pushing the pole this way and the other one's pushing it this way.
If we lose control, both of us are going this way. Like both of us are rotating the pole that way. If I do this leg, we're pushing against each other. Like my,
we are.
Like Barb would want the pole to go this direction, and I would be. If I fell, my pole goes that way. All right, let's try that.
So do downstage leg on the pole. So still.
No, because your knees are gonna hit.
But that's okay because your knees are actually stabilizing you.
It's so much harder for me. And
well,
then we
maybe.
come down. No.
Wow! Oh my gosh. Just kidding. That's how I feel about my left side or my right side. No one's ever had a serious injury, knock on wood.
No. Just go to.
It's just been physically looking attacked.
Here. I'm laugh crying, but it hurts. Like, here, boss. Put this on your head. I don't have peas, but I have broccoli. Whatever that is got in my ear. You okay? Yeah. We've been searching for a long time, got a lot of different estimates, and finally just signed the paperwork. We're at the Electric Lodge of Venice. It's gonna be our first show. At the same time, we got some bad news, really bad news. Wesley called and she is not going to be able to do the show.
Okay. Wesley was the original love. And Wesley got hired by Disney to do a Disney show. I was like, just be flat out. Like, what's going on? What do you need from us? Like, how can we help you? And she goes, well, to be honest, I just got booked overnight rehearsals the weekend of the show.
The more talented the dancer you have, the more likely it is for them to book a gig and go off on tour or, with a show or something that they're getting paid for. I'm not paying anybody. I'm just doing it because I love it and because I really believe in this subject. And a lot of the girls that join on with me are the same way. Things just change. When you're setting up a show for an entire year, people have things to do. They might be really excited about it at first, but life happens, things come up, jobs get in the way. I was just kind of the mindset that this is just how it is, I gotta accept it, and I gotta figure out a way to fix this problem very quickly.
I started making phone calls, texting everybody. It was like, hey, okay, here's the deal. We have rehearsal Monday, Tuesday. We have rehearsal the next week. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Show opens Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Are you free?
Sarah Mann called me, and she was looking for someone to fill in for the show, and it was about 2 weeks out. I had never done pole before.
She can do whatever you throw at her. She was that dancer at Chapman that if nobody else could do it, watch Caitlin.
I was excited. I had actually seen her rehearse once before, and I really wanted to try it, so I figured, why not? I had one rehearsal with Jessica, just the two of us, to go over what I needed to do in the show. It was tricky, and I got frustrated when I normally pick up things really quickly, and this wasn't coming quite as fast as I had hoped. And after seeing all the girls, and I was so impressed with where the show was at and everything that they could do, and I didn't want to bring it down.
It'll have to be that. We'll give you more room on that side.
Well, I don't want to do it. So here's what I'm thinking. There's gonna be our sync stuff on separate poles. I'm thinking we'll use the back two poles, right? And then, so this is how it works. She's dancing on this side. I'm dancing on this side.
Welcome to the Jagged show, When the Curtain Falls. We band together about a year ago. All of our dancers were not trained, and now they've come really far. We've all learned how to pole dance, and we put this all together in a year, so we're really proud of it.
The pole dancing itself was, I remember thinking, they definitely need some practice. I want to help them. But the storytelling and the dancing besides that was amazing and very fun to watch. Nobody was making teams and doing full dance choreography. Like, they had a troupe, and they had a mission, and they had, you know, this full show, which was not happening anywhere. Everybody was running solo. Even not a lot of doubles pairs were out there. And so Jagged was really one of the first groups that I saw coming out with full shows, full choreography, full costume, full lineup.
I think I was very inspired. There's people that were thanking me, a lot of older people that maybe were our dancers' parents that didn't know what to think, and they were really scared about what their children were now dancing in, and they came out of it just totally blown away. And I think that was when it really hit me that this does have an impact on people, and that we need to keep going, and we're doing something different and something important.
I was thinking I'm watching a really cool story with a lot of awesome dancing. So I didn't really think about the pole dancing, which I think, although they are pole dancing, isn't that the point?
The show made $1,700, which gave everyone at the end of the day about $30. I was happy, I was thrilled that we even broke even. I was terrified about not breaking even. I think I put my savings into that show, actually, literally my entire savings account. But to only be able to hand someone $30, it's, you know, it's LA. You get to spend that all on gas in like one day. I felt kind of lame.
So last week when we were at JV, for those of you that saw, Elm Pizarro from Boogie Zone pulled us aside, or pulled Jess aside, and I kind of like followed, to tell us that he had been talking to Nappy Tabs in Singapore about Jagged. And they seemed super interested and wanted us to come audition for ABDC.
Wow! If you get on that show, you are golden. Like, you made it, you're on TV. It's just so much recognition and so much publicity for, you know, your group and what you're doing. And for us, with our message being so new, it was perfect.
The fact that Nappy Tabs specifically said that Jagged should come audition for ABDC is huge, because they are such well-known choreographers that if you do get in to America's Best Dance Crew and you do have the privilege of working with choreographers like them, it could lead to who knows what. So, with that being said, we've decided to do it. The whole point of Jagged was to get away from the idea that pole dancing is only for strippers. So we wanted to open it to a broader audience and just bring it to the generic population of people to accept it as an art form.
We knew that we were going to be representing pole dancers on national television, and we couldn't throw that away and give, you know, a lackluster performance.
What? I thought you were like, I wish I could have talking to me.
Let's do it a little faster. 6, 7, 8, right, front, step, step, open, around, hit, front, front, back. Go around the front, down, then to the front on the step. Right when you put your right foot down. Right, left, away. Yeah. We studied a lot of doubles tricks before we did that audition. We looked up everything we could find and everything we thought we could possibly do, and we literally spent days just trying to see what tricks were possible.
I got my V coming down because I didn't fall on my face on that.
I was all like tilted.
It's hard grabbing back on after when we hit the inside leg hang.
You know what? I think my arms are on for that. Because I'm getting ready for the V.
Yeah,
Don't you do 5?
I don't think I am.
I go 5 with one arm.
I was gonna say, I think one arm is on there.
So you have to swivel your arms and then grab 5, so you can like be ready.
I'm going nervous.
You guys, I just want you to know.
Can we go? Just stop.
Tuesday,
Let's just go.
And the audition is
Let's go!
on. Do good. Auditioned for America's Best Dance Crew before, and the last time I did it, we worked really hard on it. and felt really good about our performance. We got all the way to the final round and then we were cut. So I'm not sure what it's gonna take for us to get through the audition, especially being a pole dancing group, because it's very out of the box. Well, if you're me, you can, because I just got America's Best Dance. We're really excited. So, I'm pretty fucking thrilled. We've only been around for what, like a day and a half?
A year and a half?
A year and a half.
A day and a half. Yeah.
You know what I mean? A day and a half, and yeah, we're
Keep
stepping it up, so it's good. That's good for dancers and pole dancers united. Woo! Woo! Big history. One pole at a time. We need to make that T-shirt. That's one more thing on the to-do list. Not done yet.
When I heard that Jagged was on America's Best Dance Crew, I was very excited for them. I actually helped them prepare for that.
It's a big deal because we are always constantly defending our hobby. There are always a lot of assumptions because there's a vertical piece of metal next to us.
If you can take this on a platform and you can feed it to the rest of the world, that breaks our stigma. That's like taking, like let's say we have 50 steps to get up to break this stigma, like they're jumping it for us like by 10.
What's cracking y'all coconuts? Rum drinks so you shake your butts.
Just looking at all the lights and looking at all the signs, I was like, whoa, this is a thing I've seen on TV for so many seasons, and now it's like a reality for me. It's all around me. It's not a 2D screen. I am like inside this thing.
Speech and my vision's blurred. Can't find the door, but I'm on my way out. How you trying to fight me even though I'm at my own house? Who's who?
I don't even know if I can describe it, but to be in there, just living on that stage, it was one of the greatest moments of my life.
And when we were all finished, everybody stood up, and it was like a standing ovation. Like, I just remember people getting up. I don't know if the monitor said stand up or not, but people fucking stood. So I was like, it was such a great feeling.
We're really kind of looking forward, I think, to getting a professional commercial opinion on Jagged and, see what they have to say about it, because I think it could be some, good either constructive criticism or praise or anything that would actually benefit the company.
Beatrix. I have like mixed reviews about this. Jesse, I know you talked about you didn't want this to come off like in a stripper or like erotic way at all. I can't help it. Like, I'm a man, and y'all waving your hair, there's 4 girls on a pole. If I see that, I have nothing else to do but get hard nipples. So, I'm sorry. I wish I could vouch for you, but I'm a man.
The judges' reaction definitely came as a big shock, because our message from the get-go, to all the interviews we went through, all the press packages, was to break that negative stereotype of pole dancing. And with the judges' reaction, we couldn't even do that for them,
It wasn't even a good dance artistic response. It was like a typical male, I hear people like you in a club and not on a professional show.
TV show. We all were dancers that came from somewhere and worked really hard to get there, and they're just saying all this stuff about us. But in my mind, I was just like, you're on national television, so you have to smile.
I think the choreographers had a hard time figuring out what to do with us. They really, we had a whole piece made when we went there that we were working out, and we had kind of started doing already before we went away for the show. And then, they're like, all right, have it done for us. And the first day they came in, right away, they just let's just take that out, and let's just, what about if we just go over there and we're we're kind of like, but that goes into that trick, and then, you know, we're in the wrong place for that. And so we had to learn to be like super flexible. And then at the same time, they didn't really know anything about pole dancing. So like they can only tell us so much. Like we're the ones in the end who have to say what's gonna work and what's not. After the judges' response, we were in our little lineup for elimination, and everybody was like, will it be 787? Woo! Will it be Noodles? Yeah! Jagged! Woo! Like, it's just like totally died.
It was an exciting moment, you know, and it just was kind of just shot down in a classic way that, you know, whether it's a conversation or whether you're being evaluated on a stage, you know, like I would just really appreciate it if they just evaluated the content. Like, let's look at what they did. You know, you don't say that to any group of girls. Oh, your group of girls scantily clad dancing on stage, I'm turned on. Like, it's just because there was a poll.
I mean, it was the same thing when I did the thing on The View. The movement was not sexual at all, but there were some comments after the show. They did like a follow-up segment, and they said something like, oh, when that young lady was on the show a couple of months ago doing the pole dance routine, I'm sure a lot of the men in the audience had you-know-whats. No, they didn't. I guarantee that that performance was not at all sexual.
No matter how hard you try, you're not going to eradicate the fact that poles and pole dancing in the Western culture is associated with strip clubs.
All the girls felt the same way. We all kind of went our respective ways, and we needed to just take a breather. Seth is my boyfriend, and I would have to say he is the most dependable person I've ever known. After ABDC, it was nice to have somebody that still believes in you and loves you for who you are and thinks everything you do is great and yet can be honest and give you constructive feedback.
I love her drive and her just willingness just to do anything to pursue her passion.
I was kind of shell-shocked after it. I needed to kind of sit back and reflect, and that was really healthy for me. I needed that. My first trip to Nashville was definitely surprising for me because I had a lot of expectations of what the people were gonna be like and what Nashville was gonna be like. And when I got there, I was pleasantly surprised. There's a lot of progressive people in Nashville. There's a bigger artistic community than I would have imagined. Pole isn't very visible there yet. I had to research online, I had to dig a little bit, and I found out that there were a few studios there. So I'm just thinking that I really want to teach a workshop and see what it's really like. So we just finished here. 6, 7, 8. You're gonna turn around. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Drag 6, 7. Step 8. Turn 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Drag 6. Step 7, 8. Yeah. Is everybody okay? Mm-hmm. questions?
This. I don't want to do them wrong. I'm forgetting, I guess, to turn.
You have to put your left leg out. So, I feel that in Nashville, pole dancing is more of a private thing. Step around to the back. It is growing in, people's awareness of it as a fitness class, but it's just how it's being received here, I don't really know yet.
You left your door unlocked.
I left it unlocked. So the July show is called Catalyst, and we're doing a double featured presentation with Kelly Maglia. What that means is Kelly Maglia is getting half the show, and she's more pole designer. She does pole clothing, pole couture.
I had been aware of Jagged for a while. I had seen a couple of their shows, and I had taken class with Jessica, and I immediately saw that we had a similar vision. And it just seemed like a really nice pairing. There are very few other people out there that are working with pole dance in this way, in terms of having multiple dancers in a scene or treating it like a dance company. And that was kind of the thing that really drew us together.
The whole theme of Catalyst is that there's one thing that leads to, it's like a spark that starts a fire.
It's basically the idea that one moment or one event, if you choose one path to go, can affect your life a different way than the other path.
But it's really small. So in our show, the thing that is the deciding factor is picking up a flower or not picking up a flower on the street. So this is something really random and really minuscule. And then the whole story diverges from there. And the only thing we could think of to make this make sense was to have the stage split in half so that there's double casts. Like there's two people playing each part and they're mirroring each other the whole time. So that when the event happens and things start to branch off, you can see the difference between one side and the other. So it's sort of like a split screen thing going on. It's really elaborate and complicated, but I'm excited. I think it's going to be interesting once we actually get things going here. Maybe we should, since we're swinging off of the outside.
Are you doing double stack? You be front.
So maybe they can be like intertwined somehow, like little branches or something, like when they first come out. While I was in Nashville, I was really inspired by the pole dancers there because it's so new and fresh, and nobody knows any famous pole dancers on the West Coast. Everybody just kind of does it to work out, and it's not a big thing yet. So I think that we could do what we do with Jagged on the West Coast in LA in Nashville, and I could see myself moving there and starting another group.
So I had picked up Jess from the airport, and while we were there, we started talking about kind of the future of Jagged and where it's going, and and Jess brought up the fact that she had been seriously contemplating moving to Nashville. She said, if I do move, would you be interested in taking over the company? And I kind of sat there for a second.
It's kind of like a pivot of life. It's this tiny little pivot that is, going to change everything for you. So it was a really, really big decision. And at the same time, I felt this need to want to get out and experience something new. A flower would come
Blossom. It's just a blossom.
Literally. Okay.
It has to come. Maybe you just
push. I think you just push out.
On the 30th is when I move out of this place. So I won't have, pretty much my car is gonna be packed and ready to go to Tennessee. I'm gonna be living out of my car until the 11th. I'm just staying here to finish the show.
It is very important for the group to continue without me. I don't think I'd be able to leave if I knew it was falling apart and there was nobody to take over. I wouldn't be able to do that. It's like my baby, it's my project. And now that I'm confident Sarah can do it, I think it's really imperative that we keep it going so that we not only have the original group, but we have a new group and we can kind of communicate with each other and get bigger and expand.
She knows I've told her how much I don't want her to leave, and we've had some heart-to-hearts just because how much I look up to her and how much I've learned from her and just like what an amazing person is, and I don't know if she knows it, like just this amazing thing that she created.
I move on Monday. It is now Friday. I have been anticipating this weekend for so long now that now it's finally here, it's like going too fast and I want it to slow down. But definitely I just want to try to focus on the moment right now and getting the show done and enjoying this time. This is my last time in LA with my girls as of now. And Sunday is going to be pretty emotional, saying goodbye to everybody, and then I'll worry about driving on Monday. I don't even know my route yet. This whole time I've just been waiting for this weekend to come, and now that it's here, I want it to not be here. I keep having dreams about going to Nashville and Seth throwing my shoes across the room and getting rid of all my stuff. I'm having all these weird nightmares, and but I know it's gonna be fine. this Jagged going. The sales are up, and it's time to make a new one in a different area of the country. Pole dancing's just starting out there, so I'm kind of hoping to strike the iron while it's hot, and hopefully influence them to not be typical pole dancers, but to be more artistic, along the lines of Jagged, I hope. Posting an event on Facebook, hoping to get the word out and let people know that I'm here and we're ready to go. Day-to-day life usually begins with me dragging myself out of bed at an early hour. I'm not a morning person because I now have a 9-to-5 job. I pretty much just sit right here at this desk all day, answering phone calls and letting people yell at me. But the good news is, since my boss is out a lot, I can kind of work on Jagged stuff in secret. Website, just logistical stuff that I can do sitting down at a computer. You have to get the one that's across from get one out across from the lossy net.
I remember seeing Jagged on America's Best Dance Crew, and I remember feeling like that was the most unique thing that I'd ever seen. I'd never seen anybody performing on a pole like that.
I looked at a couple of their YouTube videos. When someone says pole dancing, I think the stereotypical shaking it on poles, and I thought Jagged or Jess had a very unique spin on it.
I love that she explored the possibilities of pole with modern dance. So when I heard she was moving here, I thought, oh, I'll definitely have to see if she's gonna do something here.
The first formation, be more in the center because we were so close that they couldn't kick over, and then we couldn't get into two lines. So be on this. No one in the South in this area has ever done a pole show before. This is gonna be the very first one. So it's not only gonna be Jagged South's very first pole show, it's gonna be the first pole show that's ever happened in history in Nashville. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Obviously, the Southern culture is not the West Coast. I mean, you know, for Jess, it was a little bit of a culture shock.
The girl that had volunteered, she's one of my students at where I teach, and she had offered to clean the poles for the show. And then she texted me and said that her mom was afraid of people seeing her touching a pole in public, like not let alone dancing on a pole, but actually just being in contact with an actual pole. And I guess her father is a minister and he does not know that she pole dances, so it's a huge secret. And it was kind of my first taste of the Southern reality of the mindset people are still stuck in some parts of the country.
I still get kind of weary. It's still very secretive. Like, I haven't told a lot of people that I do this. It makes me very nervous because I feel like I have something really precious that I'm showing them. Like, this is something that nobody knows anything about.
Give it up for Jagged South!
People know that I pole dance. Being from the South, it's kind of like a taboo subject a little bit, you know?
It often raises some eyebrows, but sometimes that's kind of a fun thing, conversation starter about it.
For me, it's like the end-all be-all outlet. Like, this is the thing that I most never thought I would do, and I never thought I was capable.
Some of the girls have husbands and kids, and they've been convincing them that, like, don't worry, it's not what you think it is, and just kind of defending this project. And I think they were able to finally show that, because people never seem to get it until they see it for themselves.
Yeah, there's just something about Jess that I really connect with. I think she's just such an industrious girl, just so genuine. She really loves this. She loves dance and really believes in the power of the pole, and has been such a motivation for me to work with her. I never probably would have performed on my own, and having her here, she's been just a great person to have around and to inspire me.
Hey, so Jess, we are going to audition for America's Got Talent. I think you should probably come out and be part of the 6.
Her being the founder, it's important to me that she's here for something that may change the fate of Jagged.
With going on AGT, I really feel like we can reach out to so many people. And so in that way, it's kind of become pole evangelism. And I really want to get as many people exposed to the art as I can.
All right. Awesome. Love you. I'll talk to you later. Go to work. Okay, bye.
I love the way that we've translated this movement to be able to do pole and dance and not have it be too much, because we've been really struggling with the line between doing dancing and then getting on the pole, doing dancing, getting on the pole, or having too much on the pole and on the ground and nobody being able to process it. And I think we've learned to simplify things to kind of allow people to see it all as a big picture, and we've really, been working at that very hard.
All right. What are we choreographing today? Yeah, so if they walk around and they match our legs, so they should probably come out.
Yeah, it's definitely challenging coming back from Nashville, because we did a lot of stuff through Skype, and me and Sarah did a lot of conceptualizing and not as much of doing the things that we wanted to do, because you can't try it until you have all the bodies there. I never got to do it with the staging, with all the people. The choreo is different. Like, it's just hard to see on the computer, like, certain moves that I didn't have right because I learned them wrong. It was pretty stressful because I came in with like 3 days and all to learn this. This is day 2. But I will be fine and I will pull it off, and it's gonna be good. I actually think this is one of the best pieces that we've ever done. And it's definitely a progression from America's Best Dance Crew. So I'm really excited to audition this piece, as long as it's tight. And tomorrow it's gonna get tight. Hoping to do that today, but we'll get there tomorrow.
every performance that we do is kind of like our redemption performance. Like we're always trying to like do better than we did last time and prove ourselves and all that stuff. And I guess that's just kind of the mindset that we were in once again, was to prove ourselves and to ourselves that we could do it.
I'm like anxious. I want to keep rehearsing because I don't feel comfortable yet, but I'm so exhausted. My body is like giving out and I'm not going to be able to perform well, the tricks and everything on the pole.
I mean, if we've been rehearsing, for a long period of time, or if it's super late at night, which typically we are rehearsing late at night, at a certain point, it's extremely dangerous. You could fall off the pole, you could break something, you could land on your head, if you just are tired and not aware of what's happening.
My hopes are that we can be taken seriously and that it's not the opposite of America's Best Dance Crew, where we were too sexy for that show. I hope that we're not sexy enough for this show, which is not what we're trying to do, but that's what I'm afraid is what the judges are going to say. So, really excited. We've been waiting all day and we're freaking out. We go on stage and we're like doing the dance, and everything's going good. There's people cheering. And, about 3/4 of the way through, we hear the buzzer. And it's just kind of surreal. It's sort of like when you start dancing, you're in this little protective bubble. You just zone everything out. You're vaguely conscious of applause. You're vaguely conscious of lights and cameras and judges, but you're just dancing. And that's one of the things that's so great about it, is being in the present. So when you hear a buzzer, a huge, loud buzzer, and a red light comes on, I mean, it's hard not to be thrown off. So in my heart, I was just keeping it all contained. I was like, all right, just keep performing, keep going, keep going. And I didn't know if it was one buzzer or 3 buzzers or 2 buzzers. So I just kept going. And it was right before the end. So we got to the end and finished. And, I was hoping that maybe it was just 1 buzzer. I didn't know at the time because I was dancing. So to find out it was 2 out of 3, that was not a good feeling. I told Seth, turn on the television and let me know if you see anything, because I want to know about it. I kind of had months before this aired to sort of work through my feelings and get over that second letdown of an experience and sort of move on. So I was trying to keep my expectations low, but it's just hard not to hope that you would at least be able to get airtime, even if it didn't turn out well. And going home and looking at Seth, I knew that it didn't happen.
It would have been nice to see something, and the longer that I watched that episode, the more just annoyed and frustrated and bitter I got.
We worked so hard, and it was just like, we're like, well, all we want is like a few seconds, you know? That's all we want is on air. It's just a few seconds just to get a little bit of like airtime, you know? It'd be so exciting. And, you know, we didn't even get that.
I know we have our saying, you know, changing history one poll at a time. I actually heard a really good saying from my marketing teacher. He said, the pioneers are the ones with the arrows in their back. And it hit so close to home because we've gotten knocked down or hit in the back with arrows, if you will, so many times along this journey. And I mean, it hasn't stopped us. We're gonna keep going. We're gonna keep going till we have 50 million, you know, arrows in our back, however many will fit. We'll keep going because we believe in what we do.
This piece I was just really proud of. I thought it represented us well, and when those buzzers went off, people still cheered for us, you know? A lot of people were on our side, and the people in the audience really enjoyed it. So no matter what the judges said, all I heard was the applause at the end.
I mean, we worked hard. It was true to us. It was true to our goal of bringing pole dancing into a better light.
You know, Jess started out with a goal. She started out with a vision, and she's gonna do whatever she can to keep doing it.
I still believe in it. And if it was really horrible, I feel like, you know, by this time I would get the message. But I know that it's not horrible. I have complete conviction in the fact that it is art and it is beautiful and I love it, and that this TV show is not the end of the road for us. It's just part of the journey.
Raising my daughter in this world, I don't want her to grow up and think what mommy does is wrong. So I would love to make this, I'd love the world to see what it is that we really do so that our children can grow up and it can just be, you know, a stigma of the past.
The more we keep putting those outlets out there, putting those performances out there, putting ourselves out there, it's only a matter of time before, you know, maybe it won't be only associated with the adult entertainment industry.
Pole has changed the lives of so many women in a positive way. It really has become this sort of feminine movement that has brought a lot of women together from all different sorts of backgrounds.
I, you know, had never in a million years thought I would be as obsessed as I am. And I am. It literally is like, you know, I am constantly watching videos. I'm constantly thinking about it. I'm, you know, anything that I see, I'm like, how can we incorporate pole into that?
People need to see us. They need to be around us to get it.
I get emotional every time I think about it. To make history, you know, it's, who can say that they've done that, you know?
I want there to be some sort of longevity to Jagged, and I think the best way to do that is to start a studio. Jagged has always been about the interdisciplinary fusion of aerial arts and dance, and we need a place where we can teach people that and kind of lead people down our path. And hopefully these dancers can feed directly into the company at some point. So do you think maybe we could like hang some pictures? Depends on how long the wall is. I think it's 12 by... This is a huge deal for me because it's something that I've always dreamed of, and yet it is not the way that I thought it was going to be. I was thinking, you know, ballet, jazz, tap, all the things that I grew up learning how to do. And I always knew that I would be opening a studio. But I didn't think that it would be this. Even though I'm only one person, I can only say or do so much. But the more people I teach and the more people come through Jagged, it just increases that tenfold. And it's sort of like, it's like an epiphany of life. I don't know how to explain how powerful it is for me. It's just one of those moments where you realize how amazing life is.